Gina, good, you're back.
Ah! The police must have finished questioning her then.
How was it, Ginny? Was it awful?
Eh? Oh, didn't bother me.
Give her the papers you signed before. It meant we were able to investigate in Windybanks.
Oh, right.
Do you want to know how we got on? Been ever so busy.
What's the point in asking? Won't change what everyone's saying. That I did it.
It's not... Gina, we came to ask you for your final decision.
Eh? What decision?
About tomorrow's trial. You'll let me defend you or not?
I must submit the paperwork now if you'd like Mr. Naruhodo to represent you. Right, I see.
You really lost the fight all of a sudden. You know what that feels like. It's just so hard to bear.
Oh, right then. Blimey, give it a rest with them eyes, Iris. So come on then, fill us in. Who done it?
Fortunately, we don't know that yet.
You don't say. We don't know yet, Gina. But Mr. Naruhodo and all of us know that you are innocent of this crime.
While we haven't yet managed to work out who the real culprit is, there are a number of interesting facts that we have managed to establish.
Oh yeah? Like what?
For example, reason for you being there in the first place. I think I know now why you broke into Windybanks that night. Looks like I'm going to have to take some evidence that clearly reveals the reason. Thrust it in Gina's face. I could present it to her calmly, I suppose. Thrusting is more fun.
Alright.
Found this in Mr. Windybank's storeroom. Manuscript of Iris's latest story.
Ah! Oh, right. Well, that's good then.
Curiously, the storeroom at Windybanks showed no sign of being ransacked for items of value or the like. With one exception. Box file that housed this manuscript. It was you, wasn't it, Gina, who broke open the box containing this manuscript last night?
Eh?
You're determined to find out whether or not the Hound of the Baskervilles really was there. It's the real reason you broke into the storeroom last night, isn't it?
Ah!
Can't you tell us what happened? Please.
Alright, yeah. This Baskerville story, it's the latest Sholmes adventure, right? But it ain't been printed yet. So I figured it's gotta be worth a fair few pieces of silver, right? Oh yes, at least £5,000.
What? So, you intended to sell Iris's manuscript, did you? No. Jimmy, how could you?
What? Wait, no, hang on. Of course I wasn't going to sell it. All I wanted to do was find out if the manuscript, or whatever you call it, really was there or not. That's the only reason I was in the place. For Iris's sake. Isn't that right? Ah!
Knew why you'd done it from the start, Gina. Of course we did.
But...
I knew you wouldn't do anything mean like that, Ginny. I just knew it.
Well,
When I saw the manuscript in the storeroom, it reminded me of what you'd said the night before.
Useless?
grown-ups do a lot worse than that, believe me. Barefaced liars, a lot of them. You just ain't realised it yet. I'm telling ya, that manuscript ain't at Windybanks. You'd soon see if you had a look.
I'm honest. I wonder if Early's telling the truth sometimes. I mean, I sometimes wonder if he might have hidden my manuscript somewhere. Somewhere I don't know. Even though it's wrong of me to doubt him. Oh, Ginny, that was so sweet of you!
Alright. I'll tell you why I did it. Just stop looking at me like that, Iris. It weren't because of Iris. That's not why I did it. I just wanted to know the truth, that's all. You wanted to know if Mr. Sholmes was being honest? If he'd really deposited the manuscript at Windybanks? It's like I told you the night before. I never had a father. But Iris's lot ain't like mine. She's got a dad, only she can't see him. And I reckon that's gotta be harder. That's why she writes her stories. They're about her dad, really. That's what it sounded like to me, anyway. Last night when I was listening to what you were saying. Whoops.
Stories about Daddy? Mean they're not the adventures of a great detective? So much as the adventures of a great detective and his trusty partner.
Well, that's how I see it, yeah.
So thoughtful and kind, Ginny.
Yes, and we never thought any differently, did we? Look, give it a rest, will ya? I hate all this chummy nonsense. Do you hear? I hate it! I don't trust no one, right? That's how I work. Because if you don't trust no one can let you down. So leave me alone. Go on, Scarpa!
It tastes good? If you ate it?
Huh.
I hadn't noticed until now, but it's unmistakable. Right there on both sleeves of that overcoat. Ketchup stains. Some very suspicious red stains.
They look brown to me, but okay. What? Why are you looking at me like that?
It might be worth presenting some of our other findings in that area to Gina now. You're just not gonna do that dialogue.
We'll do it after.
Those stains on the sleeves of your new coat, Gina. Blood, aren't they? Not that I know whose blood yet.
What? But blood, Mr. Naruhodo.
You don't appear to have any obvious wounds yourself, though. But could it be blood that spattered from Mr. Windybank when he was shot last night? Let's not beat around the bush here. This trusty friend of mine will get results much faster than anything else.
Take it easy, Iris.
Don't move, Ginny. I'm going to shoot. Stop or my mom will shoot. Oh.
Oh. Purple.
Oh.
Oh my.
What the? What the? Forget the sleeves. Whole coat is covered in blood. Of course. Black color of the fabric was masking the stains. That's why we hadn't seen them until now.
And the blood has reacted with the chemical to turn a purple color, which matches one of the samples we've already collected perfectly.
Yes. Now let's see. Who had the purple blood? Ha! It was the brickmaker, Mr. Mason, the victim of the murder case 2 months ago. Knew it.
What are you all on about? The victim? What do you mean?
What you mean?
It's a rather uncomfortable situation, Mr. Naruhodo, but I think this makes things quite clear. It means the omnibus case is finally solved. The truth about who really murdered the brickmaker, Mr. Mason, is revealed. Oi! Would someone explain what's going on? Stop telling half a story!
You can see now that the victim's blood is all over Mr. McGillet's overcoat.
But in the trial 2 months ago, the defendant said this in his testimony.
Now I ask you, what good-hearted soul wouldn't rush to help a fella bleeding from his stomach? I was about to start worrying about me gloves now, was I? I reached out to give the man a hand.
If you look at this overcoat now, it's clear. Stains couldn't have arisen from McGilder trying to pull the victim to his feet.
No. If that was what really had happened, the blood wouldn't have splashed all over for the front of the coat.
The only explanation for this pattern of blood is that it splattered over McGilder's coat when he stabbed the victim in the stomach. Try to run from the truth for long enough. There's no escaping it now. The true culprit in that case, Mr. Mason's killer, was Magnus McGilder.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mr. Naruhodo.
Horrible case is solved at last. And I helped the man walk free from that trial. Used all that twisted testimony and all that sham evidence to prove his innocence. Could I have let that happen? No. Do you believe him, though? Do you believe Mr. McGilder was innocent? I believed. Rather, I think I was trying to believe. I wanted to. Because believing in those you represent in court is a defense lawyer's greatest weapon. Weapon? Before we came to Great Britain, a great friend of mine taught me a valuable lesson.
You mean Kazuma-sama?
Hey, that's me. Listen, Ryunosuke. We lawyers are only human. We can't know for sure what was the truth and what was a lie. Which is why we must resort to our primary weapon. An unwavering belief in our clients. That's all we really have.
Katana also helps. Unwavering belief.
Only when we truly believe that what our clients tell us can we fight with everything we have for their cause. In any battle, there can be no victory without faith. So I believe you, unwaveringly.
What's funny, Gina?
Cool. Sounds like in this Empire of Japan you come from, everyone must be soft. Well, come on. Look at the mess it's got you into, believing in that bog trotter.
Yes, I inadvertently helped a murderer walk free.
Well, at least you've learnt your lesson now, eh? Believing in people's never worth it. Someone always stabs you in the back in the end. As soon as you let down your guard, you've had it. Take a leaf out of my book. Believe no one, get hurt by no one.
Plays Fire Emblem.
God damn it. Gina, may I ask you something? What? I'd just like to make absolutely sure. What would you like us to do with these representation papers for tomorrow's trial? How many times do I have to say it? Rip them up and chuck them away. Are you really sure that's what you want? I bet that's what he wants and all now. Mr. I'm a believer lawyer over there.
I saw her face.
Don't forget it was me in that trial 2 months ago. I led everyone up the garden path, didn't I? You're telling me you can believe in me after that? Not likely. Well, Mr. Naruhodo?
Lawyer's primary weapon is an unwavering belief in his clients. Ultimately, it comes down to whether or not I feel I can trust Gina after everything that's happened.
Save and say I can't trust her.
Yeah, I can't be bothered.
Okay. I need to know if it's a non-stare game over, though.
We can look it up later. It's probably just going to be about that much.
Okay.
Gina, let me say it again. Please allow me to represent you in tomorrow's trial.
Eh? Are you off bait?
Yes. Not at all. Not once admitted to committing the crime, have you? You've not once committed to admitting... What's more, I believe that you're telling me the truth.
Seriously, Mr. Narrow Otto. Didn't you hear all of what I said before? I'm a born liar. Fibs just trip off me tongue. And I'm a diver, don't forget. I pulled the wool over your eyes 2 months ago and got you into all sorts of trouble. Why'd you ever trust me now? I just don't get it.
Yeah.
Gina, I do understand why you chose not to put your trust in others. But I assure you, there is more to this life than you yet realize. What do you mean? The world we live in is full of people you would do very well to trust. People who won't ever let you down. Give you up, run around, or desert you. Eh?
It's true that I'm just a student of law, certainly lacking courtroom experience.
But I know the rules, and so do you.
But I can promise you this. Whatever happens, until my very last breath, I'm completely on your side.
What do you expect me to say to that? Then it's decided. I'll take these papers now and carry out the necessary preparations for tomorrow's trial. It would be a shame to throw them away now after it's been penned with your name so beautifully. Do what you like. You, Easton, not a... I don't know what you are, I don't get you.
Racism averted. Gina's taken herself off to the back of a cell. She'd never admit it, but I hope she's feeling relieved. Turned out all right in the end, I think.
Whoever's hiding there, show yourself at once. Eavesdropping is the height of cowardice.
It's Susato.
Somebody is there in the shadows. I can sense it. Somebody who wasn't there before.
What?
It's her log. No.
Oh, blimey, you're sharp, eh? I suppose you were using one of those mystic Japanese arts, like the art of stealth I've heard so much about.
Racism was in fact not averted. If anyone was being stealthy, it was you, Inspector.
No, Susato was using the ancient art of unagi to sense it with him.
Sexy.
Oh dear me, I'm most terribly sorry, your ladyship. I didn't mean to startle you.
How long have you been listening in on our conversation?
Good grief, listen in! No! I just got word there were some visitors who were refusing to leave even though it was after hours. I assure you, your ladyship, I only just arrived. This very minute, not a moment earlier. That's all it is. Nothing untoward, nothing at all.
After hours? Is it that late already?
So then, I'll excuse myself now, your ladyship. Ta-ta, toodaloo, cheerio, all the best. Bye, and bye. Bye.
Bye. That's a lot of farewells, and not one of them appropriate for her ladyship. But I wanted to have a chat.
I'm terribly sorry, but time is pressed at the minute.
Oh, I see. That's a shame.
I'll get this emergency the Supreme Court dealt with sharpish, Lord Starheart will, well...
Emergency? Strongheart.
Nothing, forget I said anything. Anyway, I'm off!
Right, Rexy, if you have to, let's chat soon.
Do you like it? Job! Can't wait. If you please, my pleasure.
There's a lot of pleasantries, and not one of them sounded sincere.
God.
Rexy's so funny. He says such silly things. It'll be entertaining to see an inspector of the police fawning to a 10-year-old girl. Anyway, I wonder what this emergency is at the Supreme Court.
I must attend to the court clerk's... there. I must attend the court clerk's office now before it closes.
Yes, of course. Thank you, Miss Susato.
Kindly escort Iris home now, Mr. Naruhodo. I shall meet you there later.
And so our investigation came to an end. Susato-san went to file the necessary papers for my defense of Gina the following day. And then it hit me. I could no longer suppress the wretched feeling that had been gnawing away at my insides. Tomorrow, Susato-san would be leaving Britain and making her way back to Japan.
Too lady to rest.
Japan.
Dang.
Naruhodo-san, it's been a very trying day, hasn't it? I do hope you're not too exhausted.
What about you, Susato-san? Today has been even more trying for you, I'm sure. Decisions were shot before our eyes. Gina was arrested. All on the back of the news that her father has fallen ill, and that she must return to Japan at once. I hope your father recovers soon.
Thank you for your kind words. I wonder why it is that so many thoughts rage in my head like a storm, and yet I seem unable to find the words to express any of them.
I know exactly what you mean.
Anyway, I have one final task to complete as your judicial assistant. Once that is done, I shall make preparations for my departure tomorrow.
Final task.
It's just 2 months since we arrived in London, but we've managed to establish this office. It was finally feeling as though we were settling in. I'd be lying if I said I felt no regret.
So sorry, Miss Susato-san. Just Susato-san.
It's just so sudden. I really don't know what to think. I've had no time to gather my thoughts.
I've only been here for a short time, but my limited experience of the courtroom, I feel I've learned something.
And what would that be?
It seems to me there are many facets to people's personalities,
Facets?
and like a jewel, the light plays off them in complex patterns, illuminating their actions and their motives.
Sounds like some shit Phoenix would say at like the end of a case when monologuing to himself.
But we see only a small number of the total facets. What is illuminated is only a part of the whole story. It lies in the shadows. What do those facets we cannot see look like? Perhaps there's some parts we'll never lay eyes on for as long as we live.
That's so true, bestie.
So true.
That's so true,
Sometimes I
bestie.
feel as though I'm blind to so much. I keep hoping that one day we'll all become clear. All the facets will be illuminated, and I'll finally understand how everything fits together.
Naruhodo-san.
I'm trying to say I really like puzzles. Suppose what matters. If we keep our eyes open, keep moving forward. Even if the way sometimes seems dark.
It's amazing to think it's been just 2 months. You've grown so much.
Sorry? I've what?
Oh no, it was nothing. Unimportant. Plot twist, she's somehow actually our mother. That makes no fucking sense.
No. Do you know what time we will leave London in the morning?
How old is she?
Wait, what? Oh.
Yes, I picked up my ticket earlier. I shall be leaving here at 4 AM.
I see. Well, I'll escort you to the station.
Absolutely not.
Sorry?
I'm sure you realize why I couldn't possibly let you do that. You have a very important day ahead of you tomorrow.
Gina's trial. Yes, I know, but...
Every word you utter will have the potential to determine Gina's fate. You must get as much rest as possible, even though, like me, I'm sure you will find it hard to sleep. But please, for me, do try.
For me, your mother. You mentioned one final task a moment ago. What do you mean?
Oh my! I nearly forgot. Please, I want you to have this.
What is that? Some huge bundle of documents.
It's my notes from the case 2 months ago. The murder that was committed on the omnibus.
The Gilded case.
It seems to me that this case of Mr. Windybank's murder, of which Gina is accused, is very much tied up with that omnibus case, in ways that are not yet completely apparent. So I took the liberty of consolidating my writings about the case for you.
Everything else she's had to think about. Susato-san still managed to do this. All neatly laid out for me in her beautiful handwriting.
It is my pleasure. I can only hope that it will bolster your case tomorrow for Gina.
Thank you so much, Susato-san. I'll do my best to use it wisely. You really are the best judicial assistant in the world.
Well, that's extremely flattering. But I'm sorry to say that I've been a complete failure.
Sorry? I didn't quite catch what you said there.
Oh, ignore me. I was just mumbling to myself. Well, it's getting rather late. I'm gonna be an asshole and inspect it right now.
Okay.
Let's see. Victim found deceased
It's
on the last
huge
scheduled omnibus
tome
on
and
the day
it's
after
2 pages.
Victim found deceased on the last scheduled omnibus on the day of the day. Last scheduled omnibus of the day after a stab wound to the stomach. Mason Milverton, male, occupation brickmaker, domicile East End of London. Trial summary: Defendant Magnus McGilda, prosecution attorney Lord Baroque Van Zeeks, defense attorney Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Conviction was assured with 3 eyewitness testimonies. However, surprise 4th witness's testimony resulted in acquittal due to insufficient evidence. Okay. I think you should go to bed now, Naruhodo-san. I must finish packing up my things in my room.
Sato-san,
I wish you the very best of luck tomorrow. Good night.
Wait! There's something I need to say.
Hiya!
What was that?
A secret technique of mine. The Susato shutdown.
Shut down?
Your organs will fail in 3, 2, 1.
You are already dead.
Omae wa mou shindeiru. Please, I implore you.
Honey?
If we have to voice our goodbyes, I won't be able to hold back my tears.
Sag. This is so
Sleep on the
sad.
goddamn
Alexa
floor.
played mayonnaise on an escalator.
Sato-san. Cry emoji. Truly had been a trying day. On our feet for hours, asking Gina to open up to us, learning the truth about that nemesis of a case. Physically and mentally, I was exhausted. The idea of sleep seemed impossible. I forced myself to close my eyes. The cacophony of scenes of our lives here in London played through my mind. Eventually, fatigue triumphed, and I fell into a deep sleep. I can tell how deep it was by the amount of ellipses.
Oh?
Small hours.
I don't know who this is.
I don't think this is Ryunosuke.
Oh.
Yes, I quite understand. That is a great weight off my mind. Rest assured, I shall put everything in place exactly as we have discussed. Oh, I guess this is somebody else. Thank you so much. It's been an honor and a pleasure to be acquainted with you, Mr. Sholmes. I don't know who's supposed to be saying this. So.
Yeah.
On the contrary, the pleasure has been mine. I bid you farewell.
It's Susato.
And Godspeed. Maybe? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I will read the scene again. Oh no, my dear madam.
You don't have to.
It wouldn't let me actually just auto progress.
Well,
Denied.
To be continued. Ooh, spooky.
Alright.
Sad.
Well, next time, we'll finally begin the trial of this final case of the first game. We'll hopefully be able to determine what exactly is happening with this whole wider case with, because this extends beyond the pawnbrokery. There's the whole thing with McGilded in the original case and why that might have happened, and also the manuscript, how that factors into it. So, lots to find out. Very exciting. See you then.